We're powering through a MotoStars video. Ooh, it's a Prius. It's always a Prius. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure you have a good space cushion there. This one didn't have a good space cushion, didn't recognize that this person was slowing down. So when it comes to space cushions, make sure that you have enough total stopping distance when it comes to that. So with a vehicle, like a car, you can't really swerve out of the way. You can't really, split. You can't do nothing really unless, I don't know, you could try. Anything will fit if you try hard enough. So here's the thing, though. It's too close. Wasn't paying attention. Last second, this Prius decided to turn. I don't know if they had turn signals or whatever, but slammed the brakes. There's that front weight. I mean, the weight goes to the front. It's the transferring. Now it's locking up because we're applying way too much brakes. No ABS on that Nissan or like a Datsun. My grandpa had a vehicle. Yeah, it's a Nissan. It's a Nissan hard body, I believe. Miss those things before the Frontier. But yeah, make sure you guys are not following too super close and you're actually able to apply the brakes in time, find those escapes, okay? So look at the BMW rider's face, priceless, too bad the glare was there, okay? Whoa, what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to do here? We're trying to lane filter kind of like in these weird different ways. Okay, I don't like that. Okay, I kind of get that. We're trying to, hey, we found a gap. We're going to go for it, but this is why we need to practice our slow speed maneuvers. For month of January, this booklet, the digital version of the booklet, 75% off. Go to the store, download it. It's international shipping since it's digital, but if you want to get the actual booklet, get the actual booklet, but the digital version is actually 75% off. Then you'd be able to practice your slow speed stuff and it wouldn't be a problem. All right, everybody, we're going to jump into this one. We saw this earlier when we're doing the MotoStars review, and this guy just kind of doesn't do good with the friction zone. We're going to talk just briefly about that. The whole goal is to plan our ride. That wasn't very good. All right, so these were one of 5 that I have to talk about this week because you guys wanted to know, and that's what we're doing. All right, so here we go. We have this guy on a cruiser, and he looks new because he doesn't have a lot of gear. Typically, when you've been riding for quite a bit, you tend to kind of accumulate gear unless you decide, hey, helmet's good enough, but we don't even have gloves, okay? So here's the thing. Maybe we're kind of waiting for our buddy. We just pulled out of a neighborhood or a driveway. This is our kind of our spot, everything here. So when it comes to planning our route, we need a position for safety. Okay, we're in the middle of the road. Okay, cool. You can see both ways. Hey, pretty good position. We can see everything. We're going to practice our slow speed stuff. One thing that I would do if we're going to be doing that, I don't know if this is kind of his deal where he's just, I'm here practicing. Maybe he's just trying to take off. Still kind of new. I would nose myself out a little bit better. Okay, so like I'm coming up where I'm at, kind of coming up, and I'm going to go ahead and nose myself and then stop. This way I am focused this way and making sure there's nobody coming this way. I can already see this way, and I'm just going to take it nice and easy, nice and slow straight line, nice slow straight line. If you don't know how to do nice slow straight line, check out Motorcycle Training Concepts YouTube channel. That's my second channel. It's where we do most of the training. This is the all after action review type stuff, but let's go ahead and bring it back up. Locating hazardous situations. We talk about hazardous situations when it comes to, intersections, corners, dogs running out in the middle of the road, potholes, all these different things. One thing that we don't really focus on is like, are we considered a hazardous situation? Are we taking accountability and responsibility for us and kind of like what we're doing? Are we putting ourselves in a hazardous situation? Because this right here is not a hazardous situation. It's a corner. It's in a neighborhood. Yeah, maybe a little bit orange stage, especially as a beginner. I see him looking down at his handlebars. This is pretty much a beginner. Are we creating a hazardous situation? Okay, this is kind of like a nuance, kind of figuring out what the heck is going on. And then we have to assess any relevant threats, navigate active threats. So are we, the hazardous situation, are we considered a threat to ourselves because we don't have enough gear, we don't have enough training, we don't have enough expertise on what we're supposed to be doing? This is kind of scary. What are we doing? So right here, when we get closer and closer and closer to what we want to do, so he's getting it going, he's still figuring it out. Are we ready to go? He's a brand new rider. He's not looking up. A little bit too much throttle. Okay, so slow straight line, what that really does is that you are going in a straight line. And what you're doing is you're getting that friction zone and just kind of letting it out. If you don't know what that is, let's go ahead and get my hand up here. So we have the clutch in our left hand. Don't worry about the throttle hand. It's all the way down. So it's 0. Okay, this is 5, completely let go. 5 is let go. It's just the lever is out there. Squeezed all the way in is 0. Typically what happens, especially if you're in first gear, okay, especially on a big boy like this, you start letting it out. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So typically what happens when it gets to about 2, you start to feel it move. 3 starts to feel moving quicker, and then 4, 5, and it's going. Right here, what happened is that you let it out at 5 and then gave it a little bit of throttle, because you're supposed to give it a little bit, marry it and everything. He gave it a little too much. Beginner move, not good. And this is why we have full gear as a smart rider. We need to be paying attention and doing that. Now, if you really want to practice your slow speed stuff, go to a parking lot. Go to a parking lot. Make sure you're practicing your tight turns, your U-turns, your figure 8. Make sure you're practicing your slow straight line weave. There's so many different things. Practice your braking, practice just a straight up friction zone. And all you really need is like a 40 by 60 parking lot to do that. And at the dead end of a street right there. But yeah, 40 by 60 parking lot. That's all you need. And if you really want to, you can practice the easy drills. These are the easy drills, but there's so many different drills. Anyways, grab a booklet. This is the physical version. The digital version is actually 75% off for January. Okay, so you might want to check it out. Grab before it goes back up in price. 75% off. It's like $2.50 at this point. All right, guys. But yeah, we're going to go ahead out into the parking lot. We're going to be doing some smart rider drills. We're going to be doing the snake. Okay, this is a fun one. We're going to have some fun. All right, everybody, we're going to be doing the snake drill. It's going to be another drill that exits on the other side. What we're doing on this one is a very sharp U-turn at the beginning, kind of shooting out to the outside, doing a nice, easy 2-cone U-turn and exiting out. Now, what this drill is going to help you out with is prepping for that second cone, the second U-turn, basically. So think about like we're out in the mountains riding and we go too fast on that first turn, and that second turn, we're just not prepped for it. So start thinking like that. So right here, this is the demo. So this is that sharp turn. Can't go too fast there, but on this one, we can almost go a little bit faster. It's like, oh yeah, I can add speed after the fact. And that's what we're doing there. So it's gonna be that sharp U-turn at first, and then it's going to be an easier U-turn that you can add more speed to. So the first one, slow speed. The second one, let's go ahead and pick it up a little bit. So here we go. So here, sharp turn. Let's go ahead and pick it up some speed. Remember, head and eye movement like we did on the orbit, and exit out. Now you can do it more upright. So let's go ahead and show you how it looks like it when you're doing it more upright. So using a little bit more rear brake. So we're gonna stay upright here. We're gonna utilize the whole space. So look at it, all the way on this side of the cone. Look, all the way to that cone. Now we're going out. Look, and we're gonna exit out. So the main thing here is if you go too fast, you're gonna screw up. So let's go and take a look at what it looks like when it's going too fast. I'm just gonna go right through. Oh, I wasn't prepped for this. Ah! And I ran over the cone. Thankfully, these cones are pretty durable, and they come with the drill booklet. If you buy it with the cones, obviously. You can get the digital version of the booklet. You can just get the physical booklet, or you can get the booklet with the cones. Either way, what we're doing is we're practicing setting ourselves up for the second turn versus the first turn. A little bit of delayed gratification, it's going to bring you a lot more success, okay? You don't want to be crashing on the second turn. I'd rather go slow on the first one and not like it, second one enjoy it, versus first one really like it, second one I'm crashed and I'm in the hospital. Do you need to be strong to ride a motorcycle? It will help. It will definitely help to be strong. We're talking physically strong. First and foremost, that's one of the easiest. Mentally strong is also important. You want to have some good intellectual and mental capacity to handle some craziness going on. Okay, so all the cars. But let's talk about physically. I think that's what we're getting at. So you don't necessarily need to be physically strong to ride a motorcycle. The only time the motorcycle really gets heavy is when it gets off balance, which typically happens at slow speed. Slow speed stuff is usually where it gets heavy and you need that strength. If it's on its side, not moving, and you crashed or dumped the bike, it's gonna be heavy. But when you're out riding itself, the gyroscopic precession, all the physics, I don't know, the earth rotations, whatever it is, the bike's gonna wanna stay upright, okay? The bike's gonna wanna stay upright. It's just, it becomes weightless when you're actually riding. And if you grip the handlebars really hard and you're like trying to hold on, it can be a little bit more tense. There's ways to handle that. Grip the tank with your knees instead and be loose up top. So tight on from hips down, like gripping, not super tight, but just enough. And then loose up top, okay? Just loose up top. You don't really need to have crazy strength, but is it gonna help? Yes, yes. Practicing your slow speed skills, is it gonna help? Yes, because then you're gonna still feel weightless even at slow speed maneuvers because you understand counterbalance. That's what we teach here too. So it's kind of like holding like a broomstick on your fingers. It's just all about counterbalance, and you know how to do that. So it's kind of like doing that with a motorcycle. High speed, or not high speed, but even going over 20 miles an hour, we pretty much want us to stay upright. So do you need to be strong? Not really. Not really. Should you be strong anyways? Yes. You should try. Go to the gym. Go to the gym and get some weight training going on. Get some resistance training. It's gonna help your mental health too. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not trying to trigger anybody here, but I'm pretty sure most of my audience hasn't been to the gym or hasn't done a push-up. So just try to do 10 push-ups.